Welcome everyone to our Punk Panda showcase. We have a lot of excitement going on, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready to see what many has predicted to be the most exciting project token listing of 2022 Punk Panda. Right now, I have the honor, I have the privilege to actually introduce some of the people that are actually coming on. We have our leaders in this corporation. We're going to show you behind the veil of what's been happening behind the scenes, getting all this stuff together, preparing for this listing. And right now, I just want to just take the opportunity to just give you a little, oh yeah, by the way, I'm TW Dawson, the CCO of Punk Panda. I'm excited to be able to work with the leaders that we have. So many men that have put this together. Speaking of such, people like Marcus Schubert, our lead advisor, and Albert Murrah, our CEO. But what I want to do right now is get right into it, and I want to play a short video for you guys as you guys come in and let us know where you're coming in from. I see people from all over the world. We thank you guys for joining us tonight, and can we just put that video on and we'll get right into it.
You love sport. You can't stop thinking about it. You know all the players. And you love earning crypto. Introducing Panda 11, the world's first crypto fantasy sports app. Taking fantasy sports to a whole new level, combining the exciting worlds of crypto and fantasy sports. To play, just sign up for free. Step 1, pick your sport. Step 2, create your fantasy team without going over the salary cap. Step 3, feel the Panda pump as your fantasy team scores points live to win big with crypto. Win a share of the prize pool with new contests to join every day with Panda 11, the world's first crypto fantasy sports app. With no local restrictions, you can participate in matches across multiple sports from all over the world. You love sport. You know all the players. So get started now with Panda 11 and turn your fantasy into reality. Win more, keep more with Panda 11, the world's first crypto fantasy sports app. Download it now from the Apple Store or panda11.io website for Android. You love sport.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our Punk Panda founders, the CEO, Albert Murrah, which is a great friend of mine. I'll talk about him in just a second, but I want to talk about our president, Mark Schubert. Listen, this gentleman has been in the business world for so long. He has done so many big projects like this. He is not a stranger to projects that have blown up. This man right here is one of the best leaders, and he's our lead advisor and our president. And I want to talk about our CEO right now as I introduce him. Albert Murrah is a good friend of mine. Not just a friend, but he's the guy that you want in the bunker with you when things get real. There's not a better person to navigate through this time, through this market. His wisdom, his knowledge, his insight for business, and his network is worldwide. We are so fortunate to be able to have a leader like him. And Albert, I just want you to just come on and just bless everyone with your knowledge, and let's get into this showcase. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, TW, for that wonderful introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, it was about 13 months ago when my good friend Marcus sent me a picture of 6 bears, and he started talking about this beta app, and this beta app that was secure messaging. And he goes, hey, do you have any ideas for marketing? Marcus, if you could bring up the slide, please. And so I'm looking at this and I'm going, you know what? You're going to need millions and millions of capital to be able to get people's attention. And it was basically the same phone call 2 or 3 more times where basically at the end of that, I was going, God, you guys are going to just have to have a lot of capital. And if you don't have the capital, I don't know what you're going to be able to do. Well, then Marcus finally tells me, you know what? We've decided we're just going to take this Punk Panda thing and just put it on the back shelf and move forward with a different project. And then about a day later, just as luck would have it, I lost a few $1,000s on a crypto project. And I thought, wow, that crypto project was fantastic. If I was able to take some of the ideas from there, let me share those with Marcus and see if we can apply it to Punk Panda. We might have something special. Ladies and gentlemen, it was exactly 1 year ago. It was the 27th of July when we spent the weekend going over on what we started with tokenomics. And at the end of about 4 or 5 days, bouncing it back and forth on each other, we were getting more and more excited. We had about 7 Excel spreadsheets. They were going 500 columns wide, 200 rows deep. And then I'm starting to run around telling everybody, this is going to be the world's biggest thing. Everybody's going, slow down, don't talk so fast, slow down. And I said, but you don't understand. This is going to take the whole world by storm. We're doing something here nobody else has ever done. And then it was just a few days later that Marcus coined the phrase, use it, share it, own it. And when he did that, it just gave me goosebumps, because the tokenomics with basically saying what we were going to be and do in those 6 easy words, I just knew that it was bringing the whole project together. Then we took a step back and we started thinking about some of the situations that we'd been in the past. And we never wanted to be there again. And that's why you're seeing this slide right here, right now. Because what we wanted to do is we wanted to make sure that anybody had the ability to participate and benefit with no risk of getting hurt. You guys, we give tokens for free for just using a messaging app. Nobody can get hurt. Reward the community members that are actually helping to grow the project. Nothing about being first in or spending the most money. Who's helping the project the most will get rewarded the most. Very simple. Simple to participate in. No new skills required. Anybody can download a messaging app, start using it. And that way we could bring in millions of new people off the sideline and meanwhile give crypto a good name. And then this is the thing that I'm most proud of. 1 year ago, this was just a theory on paper. But since then, it's no longer a theory. It's been put into practical use, where somebody from a third world country, the Philippines, India, Nigeria, could just simply have a smartphone, no investment, and they could go out and make life-changing money. And many people have done that. Some, the stories that are out there, 100,000 tokens, 160,000 tokens, 180,000 tokens over these past few months. And we're just 2 days away from where they're going to be able to cash in on those rewards. And we definitely wanted to bring equality and benefits to the underprivileged. So basically, the value and the vision of Punk Panda has been from the very start, value in the personal privacy, being able to have people earn a powerful income, risk-free opportunity that can change their lives forever. So in essence, we're enhancing the lives of those people that we touch. With that, Marcus, let me turn it over to you. You've been nothing but a fabulous partner in this. Just thank you so much for everything that you've brought to this. Thank you for the phone call 13 months ago.
Albert, thank you very much. And I'm so proud to have you on board. And before I just push up the PowerPoint and continue through the presentation, I just want to mention a couple of words about Albert, because for those of you who have been in business before, if you've been into crypto projects before, one of the most important features are the people who are developing and rolling out the project, because without them and without their ethics and without the trust in these people, you're really on shaky ground. I don't mean to embarrass Albert at all, but I just want to put this forward to you guys so you can understand the type of person and human that you're dealing with here. I literally have seen Albert in a situation where he has had to sleep on the beach under a canoe for multiple nights on end. And he would do that rather than jump into a project and promote it for his own benefit to get him out of that situation. So that's one of the reasons I felt confident to bring Albert on board as my partner with this project. I felt confident to bring him on board as the CEO, because he has a huge heart, he's extremely generous, and he just will not compromise putting somebody else in a bad situation to help out his own. So Albert, thanks very much for everything you've done, and let's keep moving with the presentation. So guys, like Albert said, what was most important to us is that we could bring millions of people into crypto who are currently sitting on the sidelines because they didn't know what to do, they didn't know who to trust, they were fearful of losing money. We could bring them into crypto with no new skills, no new experience, no financial risk on the line, and they could simply start using a free messaging app and earning tokens for simply using and sharing this app. And, just imagine if you had a messaging app like WhatsApp or Telegram that paid you every day for simply using and sharing it. Now imagine those daily rewards represent your ownership in the success of the company. And that's exactly what you're getting every time you earn a token or a portion of a Punk Panda token for using and sharing our products. Now look at WhatsApp. After 4 years in operation, they sold to Facebook for $19 billion. Dropbox, a file sharing service, is currently valued at $10 billion. Zoom, video conferencing, valued at $98 billion. So we either have or will have products that rival these. And my question to you is, did you ever get paid for using and sharing those products? So Punk Panda app, we released the beta version of this app back in November last year, 2021. It's the world's first secure messaging app that pays you to use it and share it. It's totally free and it rewards you with Punk Panda tokens 48 times a day. Every 30 minutes, there are new tokens coming into circulation and being distributed throughout those people who are using and sharing the app. Military-grade encryption protocols protect your personal privacy and data security. So the more you use it and share it, the more tokens you'll earn. Now, this is a key point. There are some excellent secure messaging apps already on the market, and people are thinking, great, my messages are secure when I'm sending them. Nobody can intercept them and get access to my information. Now, that's true, but I'll ask you a question. What about the company that owns that app? Do they have all of your information? Do they have all of your messages? Do they have all of the videos and all of the actual images and photographs? The question and the answer is yes. You know what? We don't do that. That's not our business model. Our business model is not to harvest your data, spy on you, listen to your conversations, and potentially compromise you in the future if somebody gets dragged into a lawsuit. That's not our business model. What we are doing is we're building a huge global community with our free app, and we will bring other free products and paid services into our community that we believe a percentage of people will come through and own, with Panda Post, a secure file sharing service, Panda Meet, a secure video conferencing service, and also Panda Vault, a secure file storing service. Now, on top of that, we're tapping into some huge industries with Panda Play and Panda Profit. The online gaming industry is absolutely booming. NFT market is absolutely booming. And you know what? This is an area that we already have products in the space with Panda Play and Panda 11, which we'll talk about as we get further into this presentation. Now, along the way, we've been so fortunate. We've had high quality people coming to us from different areas, different industries, with different elements of expertise who are saying, guys, we love this project. You know, I want to be a part of it. How can I help? What can I do? Now, I'm not sure if we have Cliff on the line. Cliff, if you are on the line, please unmute yourself. I haven't had confirmation. But Cliff is one of these guys who he's owned his own companies. He's been around the direct selling industry. He's been in crypto for quite a number of years. And he's constantly brought us really high quality people saying, you know what, these people I think could help you. And one of the individuals that's been brought to us has been our major investor, Brian McMullen. Now, Brian is somebody who's owned a number of companies before, currently has companies that have hundreds of thousands of members. And we were so fortunate to be introduced to Brian. He'd already purchased a bunch of tokens in our pre-sale, so we knew that he liked the idea of our project. And we talked about a strategic partnership as a major investor. So, Brian, if you're on the line, if you could just unmute yourself, because I'd love to hear from you a bit about your background and why you felt confident to partner with us in such a major way here with Punk Panda. Okay, Brian either hasn't joined us. I know you were on your way to the airport, or you're having trouble unmuting yourself. Brian, I'm going to keep on moving. And if you do happen to find your way to unmute yourself, just jump in and I'll let you speak. So just on that, what we'll do is hand back to Albert, because one of the things that we looked at was so important during this journey was we looked at companies that were success stories. And we looked at companies that had grown in the space where we either have or will be offering products or services. We looked at what were the key metrics, what had they achieved, and what were the common denominators that made them become global success stories and household names. So Albert, I'm going to hand over to you to cover this slide and then also go into a couple of the next slides as well.
Okay. Yeah. ladies and gentlemen, this was another one of those stepping stones where we got really, really excited because we started to realize, what are we? We're actually all three in one with the Zoom, Viper, Dropbox, WhatsApp. And we realized that we were going to be big data. So we started looking at things that all these companies had in common. And one of the key factors is that these companies, Zoom, Viper, Dropbox, WhatsApp, they all had 1 million registrations within 1 year. That seemed to be a key indicator where it gave them the springboard to go on to 3 or 4 years later, having 300, 400, 500 million members, which valued them at no less than 18 billion. And like Marcus said previously, WhatsApp sold to Facebook for 19 billion. Zoom right now has an all-time high of 98 billion valuation. And once again, it's a simple question. Anybody that helped develop those companies and were the early on people that, got excited about it and told other people about it, were they given any shares for using or sharing the services? No. And the other thing that we have in common with them is that we offer the free services and we expect just a very small percentage of our people to actually bump up and do the paid services, just like they do with Zoom. Now, where are we with 1 million registrations? Well, within 120 days, we had 550,000 brand new registrations. So we're easily going to achieve that 1 million mark. And that should be the key stepping stone for us to just explode up into that 300, 400, 5 million in the next 2 to 3 years. We could go to the next slide. So remember, I just told you, why is this important to talk about the big data and what it's going to be valued at in the future, the billions and billions. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, use it, share it, own it. When you own a token, you actually own a share of Punk Panda. And what does that mean? There's only 275 million of these tokens. When you go look at tokenomic projects, you'll see some of them that got 1 billion, 10 billion, 20 billion, quadrillions. So you owning a token doesn't really have that much value. But because we're like Bitcoin, where we have having a regular halving schedules, and we're doing a minting over 15 years, every token that you receive, owning a share of the company, and it's got the value as its tokenomics also. So if we could go to the next slide, we're going to be having the listing here in a couple of days, July 29th. And if you look at this website, punkpandafarm.com, what's beautiful about this is that people are going to be able to go directly to the website. They're going to be able to do staking, enter into liquidity pools, to be able to do buys, to do sells right here on the website. Made this as convenient as possible. The contract address will be listed here. It'll be dropped in the Telegram group. It'll be posted every outlet that we have. So everybody will know where the smart contract is. And we'll do that the second the listing takes place at 12 noon Eastern time on July 29th. Now, the gentleman that's responsible for building this wonderful site, I'm going to introduce him right now. He is one of the brightest in the industry, starting at a very early age. It's Jedi Josh. He's our Chief Innovation Officer. And just let me tell you something, over his years of starting, he's been in the industry almost since the industry started. And he started as a teenager. So think about this, okay? He's now recognized as one of the top 3, 4, 5 individuals in the world when it comes to DeFi protocols and setting up DeFi farms and staking and making Web3 projects, okay? Now, most babies, when they're born, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months later, their first word is mommy or daddy. Not Jedi Josh. His first word was Bitcoin. His second word was HODL, okay? So Jedi Josh, you can come on and share with everybody.
Oh man, that's too rich. Thank you so much, Albert.
You're so welcome.
Oh, that's such an incredibly kind introduction and a really funny one too. Thank you so much for that. Everyone, I'm really pumped to be here and appreciate all of you that have taken the time to join us tonight. We're really excited to talk a little bit more about the project, about where it's heading, and some of the really cool features that Albert has already started sharing with you tonight. To give you a little bit of background about myself, kind of like Albert shared, I joined the industry in about 2010. I got to the Bitcoin white paper really early on, just pure serendipity. And I really loved what it was about. I loved the philosophy. I loved the counter economics. I loved the autonomy and financial independence that it offered people. And so I was really excited by this. And, it just so happened that over the years, it turned into an industry. And, as somebody who happened to be there as the history was being made in this industry, I got a chance to see this whole thing evolve from the nascency of them, having no smart contracts in the blockchains to where we are now, where we have Web3 protocols and these awesome things like the NFT game that Punk Panda is developing right now. So it's been a really amazing journey to be in crypto for this long. I'm really blessed and really fortunate that I've had the chance to be here and learn so much. To give you all a little background about my, professional journey in this industry, I started out with a company called the Blockchain Center. We made our big kind of 15 minutes of fame by being featured in Netflix on a big documentary called Banking on Bitcoin. For those of you that have never seen that movie, if you know nothing about crypto and you want a phenomenal place to start, go check out Banking on Bitcoin. It was featured on Netflix and now it's on YouTube for free. You'll see our company on there, Bitcoin Center NYC. We were the first physical live exchange in North America, only 100 feet from the New York Stock Exchange. It's where we launched Doge. It's where we launched MakerDAO. It's where we launched Paxful. Some of the biggest companies in the space were launched where I previously served as COO. It's been an amazing honor to work at such a great company and all these prestigious different names in the industry. I've had a chance to work with SoftBank, with Crypto.com, with a lot of big names in the space. And now I'm even more excited that I get a chance to be a part of such an impactful project that's really taking on some of these big companies in the messaging space and the software space. But, I can't say enough wonderful things about this. Craig and I, when we first came across the project, we were so excited because we were looking for a brand that we could really affect change through. We had so much technical capability and so much expertise, and we really wanted to find that special vehicle to drive change through. And Punk Panda was exactly that. I had a really impactful call with Marcus and Albert, and they immediately sold me on the idea. I loved it. I think it's a really lofty mission and you have to chase big things, right? And that's one thing I really love about this project. It's not just trying to solve one little problem. It's trying to really take on some really big things and drive value back to the users, which is what I think crypto is about. So it's an honor to be here and be your Chief Innovation Officer. Thank you guys so much. And I appreciate you all.
Josh, thanks so much. We're so grateful to have you with us on the project. And just to let everybody know, we heard from Brian McMullen, our investor. He wants his money back. No, I'm joking. He's just at the airport. He's going through security, and as soon as he gets on in the next 5 or 6 minutes, he'll let us know, and we'll get to hear from Brian. So we'll keep moving until we do hear from Brian. So Josh, heading up Decryption Labs. Now, Decryption Labs is a conglomerate of really talented people. The next person part of Decryption Labs on the team is Crypto Craig, Chief Strategy Officer. So Craig, I'd love to hand the call over to you for a few minutes, give people a bit about your background and what you love about what we're doing here together with Punk Panda.
Yeah, of course. Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, mate, coming through loud and clear.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Thanks, guys, so much. My name is Crypto Craig, and I appreciate everyone having me on the call tonight. I gave myself that nickname, which is not a very cool thing to do. But when that happened in 2015 and Bitcoin went up, it finally something stuck. And so it's funny because one of the guys that taught me and I followed online along the way as I was learning was actually Cliff, who called me about Punk Panda probably 6 months ago. And, he told me it was a messaging app. It's a networking. And to be very honest with you, I needed another messaging app like I needed, anything else in my life. I didn't care. But when it came from Cliff, I knew I had to pay attention. When he said it rewards you in crypto, you should take a look. I was like, okay, send it right over. I'll sign up. And then when he said it was for free, I said, okay, give me your link. And so that's really how it went. Once I got to dig through and he told me about the mission and I heard that Brian McMullen might be involved, I said, all right, well, we've been building this company in the crypto space and doing development for some of these big projects. But we have so much cool stuff that Josh and Michael and I, who you'll meet, that we want to build as a development company. But we don't have that cool of brands. Like, it's really hard to make some of these hedge funds. God bless them, they're our clients and they're great, but these are like banks. It's not that fun. It's boring. To have a cool brand that you could do all the cool stuff like NFTs and the staking and the DeFi and be able to bring all the cool IP that we've built to a project with a cool brand behind it, that was very exciting to us. So, it just kind of was a natural flow. And we started working with them. And as things grew and we saw the amount of users that they already reached, I was like, my God, we should put our heads together, team up, and go bring some great products to market. And I say products because I think it's so important. Most of crypto right now, most opportunities out there, like, they're about investing in a project that might do something down the road later. And even so, it might be a protocol, or it might be one thing that they're trying to do really well. And I respect that to an extent, but that's really all it has been. And 99% of these, probably more, won't work out. They're just pipe dreams, they're hopes and dreams. They raise the money and go try to do it later. Here is a lot different. They have working products day one, and they have really like 5 pillars of different suite of products that all actually propel the price of a native token up. And so why is it so important? Because in crypto, projects come out, the token pumps up and people get excited, and then it goes down because there's not a lot of utility. There's not a lot of use cases for it. Even though people try to argue that there often isn't. Here, with all the Panda 11, with the Panda Academy, which I'm fortunate enough to be an educator with Michael, who's going to touch more on that in a second. I mean, guys, you can use PPM tokens to get access to tons of videos that would have saved me so much time and money in crypto. I mean, everything from what is Bitcoin all the way to investment strategies, and printed out books that will give you exactly what to do with your security, so you don't have to worry about getting hacked. Like all of these utilities and things that you can buy and use, feed the ecosystem and pump the price of the token, which is good. So the reason I stress that is because these are working products, and even if there probably wasn't a crypto to it, or there wasn't an opportunity attached to it, you'd probably share it. And now you get to not just buy or try to trade crypto, you get to earn crypto. And that's something I've been preaching since 2016, when I started, fortunate enough to have a YouTube channel, and then took off and started speaking on stage. I was telling people, you can live in crypto, you can earn in crypto. And so me and all my friends, we're crypto degenerates. We've been looking for a cool way to bring people to crypto in a fun and exciting way. So we have a lot of products that are going to do that. This is a huge week for Punk Panda. I'm not sure when you'll be seeing this video, but definitely go to punkpandafarm.com, check out what's going on. We've done such a good job as a team, and not myself, this is just everybody, to demystify a lot of what crypto is, to be able to buy an asset, to be able to swap it, to stake it, to do all the things maybe you've heard of in DeFi is actually really complicated. So the team did a great job of simplifying, giving you the tools you need to be able to do that, and do it right from the home page. So that'll all be out live in a few days. I'm excited for everyone to see it. I'll pass it back to Marcus to kick it over to Michael to talk a little bit about the Panda Academy coming out here soon.
All right, listen, good news. I think we've got Brian McMullen on. He got caught up in security. Apparently his carry-on luggage was over 7 kilograms, which was just his wallet. But anyway, Brian, do we have you on the line? If you can unmute yourself, just make sure you're coming through.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah,
that was crazy.
The call is all yours. We appreciate you getting on.
Have you ever been in the airport and there's either a crying kid and then I'm running away from that, or you're like, okay, 7 minutes, and I put my bag in, I'm like, I'm good. And then they pull my bag, like the one bag, they pull it. I'm just like, oh my God. But anyway, yeah, I'm super excited. Let me just tell you kind of what happened to me. I've been in crypto, I guess, since 2015. So how many? 7 years. And been in network marketing for decades, basically. Became a millionaire in my 20s. But so here's basically what happened. Last year, you guys know, like fall, I had some friends that just were making a lot of money in the pre-sale tokens, Hex and SafeMoon and True Badger. And I was like, I guess it's pre-sale token season. But they told me, oh, there's this app that's super secure. Your digital self, you heard all the stuff. Your digital self. Can you guys hear me? Because I just saw my buddy Craig. I see Albert. I see Marcus. I'm super distracted, but it makes for entertainment, right? Because I have no literally speech to read or nothing. But I was like, okay, well, there's this belief of privacy, and I always like the overstretch of the governments, and the fact that your digital self is worth more than your physical self, and all the data mining they do of us. But just even friends that send a picture to their girlfriend and somehow they don't own that because somebody else, it's on their platform. So I was really super passionate about the idea just from that one little thing. And then, so I got in, I was like, okay, let's do the pre-sale thing. And I bought some tokens, and the site was super cool. They paid on time. Actually, I felt like, wow, for the work I did for a week, this is good money, But I just thought, there's got to be something more to the idea, because there's all these people that were pitching, they're going to come out with a blockchain phone, they're going to do this and that. But the problem is that even if you have a blockchain phone, people are still conditioned to their WhatsApp or whatever. So if that doesn't solve the problem, what will? And when I dove into it a little bit deeper, and even girls I knew were like, oh my gosh, the branding is crazy. I mean, I don't know if these guys, I told them, I don't know if your brainchild was literally that every girl on Instagram and Snapchat puts little panda on their faces. And then when you send pandas out, like what they're doing with the NFT stuff, or the little, even the stuff, Marcus and Craig, or Michael and Craig, and with the training and all that. So I haven't seen my friends in a while. What's up, Michael? But so I was like, well, I think this is a big, big deal. And then when I just met Marcus and Albert and just started hearing about their vision, and the fact that they were like, hey, we'll take the shirt off our back before we ever get in a situation where we don't honor agreements and make sure people don't get hurt, and just their stories. I mean, Marcus' whole reason was like, hey, my buddies kept getting hurt, so I realized I needed to step in to the arena. And when they did, like major ways, right? Just the betting, the gambling, the messaging, the NFT, like everything that just has been awesome. So like I said, flying international, TSA, super distracted. But at that point, I put an investment in the company of, multiple seven figures. And I did it. I guess Michael, or sorry, I'm just like Marcus, Albert, they were like, well, why did you this when you get pitched all this stuff? Like, why not other things? Like, why literally this? And I was like, it's simple, really simple. First of all, it's a project dear and near to my heart because of the privacy, government overreach. I'm kind of feeling like I'm a crusader on that front. But even more so than that, because there's a lot of projects that claim that they're, do that. But literally from the moment I stepped in and I started just doing a little bit, like, hey, I've always felt this about just people. You take a step towards somebody, if they don't take a step towards you and like honor their agreement and follow through and over deliver, I just told them, hey, you know what? Since I put the money into you guys, I'm not just pleased. I'm like a little shocked and super ecstatic about the fact that you guys literally have just done this and this and that, like 20 things. I thought you were going to do like 2 things, but you've gone way overboard, overperformed, not said really much, no talk, but just delivery. So I don't know what else there is to say, but I'm stoked. And that's the reason, just because from the little bit I did from the first day, it was like, we pay our people, and they did, like, you guys know. So peace
Brian,
out.
that's fantastic.
I don't know what to say. Peace out.
No, that's great. Thank you so much. Appreciate you getting on. I can see you're about to travel. So I'm grateful you're able to jump on. So now let's jump, and we really appreciate your support, Brian, more than you probably know. So let's get back into this presentation. So we've just heard from Crypto Craig before Brian got a chance to jump in. The next person from Decryption Labs, again, I was just blown away when I realized this guy was going to come on board. Michael Kimmelman, best-selling New York Times author, Amazon best-selling author with a couple of books you can see up here. One's called Confessions of a Wall Street Insider. Another one is Mastering the Basics of Bitcoin and Crypto. Now, Mike is going to be part of the Panda Academy, which is starting out with 20 different modules talking about crypto education from basics right through to giving you tips of things to do, things to avoid. So without any further ado, Mike, love to hand over to you, sir.
Thank you, Marcus. Again, my name is Mike Kimmelman, and I am excited to help design and launch Panda Academy, which, as Marcus said, is the educational component of the project. And I really just can't wait to combine all the things that I've learned in the previous ventures that I've been involved with into this single storehouse of knowledge. And I'll give you a quick bio. I was a corporate lawyer for one of the big New York law firms doing M&A work, got tired of that law firm life, lateraled over to finance and became an analyst, a trader, and a portfolio manager for several of the big hedge funds. Eventually ended up starting my own fund, which at its peak ran over $250 million. And then in 2014, I had the good fortune to run into Charlie Shrem, and he was the president of the Bitcoin Foundation. He had formed one of the first Bitcoin exchanges. Charlie and I became fast friends. He took me down that Bitcoin rabbit hole, and I really never looked back. In 2016, Charlie and I started one of the first crypto educational newsletters in the sector. And the goal back then is really the same goal that we have now. It's to help you guys time collapse your learning curve in a really simple and dramatic way, to distill all this information in a super simple, easy to understand manner. Financial education really is so near to my heart. It's so critical. It helps you gain control of your life. It helps you understand money, to plan for your future, to understand your choices. It really gives you options. And I am a huge fan of optionality. Quite simply, it gives you the power to make the most of your money and potentially improve your life. And that's what Panda Academy is designed to do. Especially in times like these, especially in bear markets, there are so many amazing companies and huge fortunes that have been created in times like these. Companies like Microsoft, Electronic Arts, Venmo, Airbnb, Square, just a ton of great companies and fortunes have been built in these types of bear markets and times. And so this is really, I can't emphasize it enough, this is the perfect time to build knowledge and to double down on education. And I'm really excited to be a part of this project.
Mike, thanks so much. We appreciate your partnership, and just looking forward to these new Panda Academy modules coming out very soon. So now from Mike, the final person from Decryption Labs is another guy I was this is our little Panda professor. So you're going to get to see the professor in the Panda Academy. We think is a gangster, cool looking little dude. Everyone we showed him to says he's so cool. So the next person, I first met Russ not too long ago now, when we started looking at putting together our NFT online game, which we're calling Panda Legends. So Russ Creswell, he's our lead software engineer. Russ, would love just to hand over to you for a couple of minutes to talk about your background and really the things you thought about when you, even before you started. We didn't come to you and say, Russ, we need you to do this. We allowed you, with your expertise, to go out, look at the market, look at what was working best and say, right, here's what I think is going to be something that can really make a big splash in this space. So Russ, over to you.
Awesome. Yeah. I'm Russ, everybody. Nice to meet you all. Nice to see you all. I've been doing software development for about 8 years now. I was working at Cisco for a couple of years, and then finally decided to get into crypto a couple of years ago. And I've only been developing blockchain applications for about a year now. But other than that, at a young age, I got into playing video games, and I got into playing different kinds of games. And I was always interested in how they're built and how it works in the back end, how the AI works. And ever since then, I started building my own applications. So I've built a variety of stuff, including mobile applications, web applications, and games and stuff like that. And the reason why I decided to take this project on was because I like to, I think my purpose in life is to connect to people. So I want to build something that allows people to be competitive and collaborative in a healthy way. And I know that there's a big problem in games nowadays with censorship and owning your digital items. So I think with the NFTs that we're creating on this platform and the token, there's a big opportunity for you to actually own your items. And with that being said, I'm excited to be part of the project, and I look forward to building something that everybody will enjoy.
Fantastic, Russ. And we know that you are ahead of the curve as far as development's concerned. So we appreciate all the hard work you're doing in the background, and people are going to see that come to fruition sometime into next year. And it's going to be a huge utility case for our token going forward. Speaking of utility case, for those of you who haven't seen it, we started the presentation with Panda 11 Video, the world's first crypto fantasy sports app. This is already on the market. You can go to the Apple iOS store and download it. If you're on Android, you can go to the website panda11.io. And this is just such a huge utility case for our business going forward, because people can come in with their traditional crypto, whether it be Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tron, BNB. They can purchase, and they have to purchase our token to play the matches. When they play the matches, they're basically able to not only win more, but keep more of their winnings than they would if they're in a fiat model. They're not just able to win more and keep more of their profits and their winnings, but they can participate in a global way. They're not pigeonholed into their local market, playing sports with their local fiat money. So that's going to be a huge project for us, and we're scaling this and really putting a focus on this in the coming months. So the last thing I want to do before I hand back to Albert to round out the presentation is just to talk you through our ecosystem. And a lot of people look at this and their brain might go on spaz going, wow, there's a lot going on here, and this looks quite complicated. So I'm going to talk you through this step by step so that it all comes together and makes sense, not only why it's important and beneficial to utilize some of the products and services that we offer, but really how important these different elements are to support and grow the value of the tokens that you may be earning or buying. So we started out with a smart contract that we put in place on the Binance Smart Chain, and every 30 minutes, that smart contract delivers tokens into 4 separate wallets. The first wallet is a wallet where 15% goes for ongoing development. So the company always has a source of resources to actually grow out and expand new products and services and to improve the service we have on the roadmap. 23% of those tokens goes to the Panda app. So that's for people who are actually sharing the app, and we have an ongoing supply of tokens to reward people who are helping us to grow this massive community and database through the free messaging app. There's another 50%, sorry, the other way around, 50% goes to the Panda Pals through the app. 23% goes to people who have tokens staked on the Punk Panda farm. So if you've got your tokens, you bought them, they're sitting in the back office on the Panda farm, just for holding tokens, you're receiving additional tokens for being a holder rather than a seller of those tokens. So we're further incentivizing you to hold those tokens and not just be selling them willy-nilly on the market. And then the final one goes down to Panda Profit, Panda Farm, for those people staking there. Now, the red arrows this is if you want to be able to sell your tokens in the future. So if you're accumulating tokens from the Panda app, you'll be able to sell those for a public exchange, the first one being Pancake. We have other exchanges that we're already looking at and deciding which ones and when will we list. If you've got tokens on the Panda farm, again, you can sell those through a public exchange. Now, in the future, we're going to have free and paid services that we're bringing down. Panda Post, like a file sharing service that's encrypted. Panda Meet, an encrypted video conferencing service, will have a free and a paid upgrade. Panda Vault, which is a secure file storage. But also, if we look at back on Panda Profit, we have not only the Panda Farm going live with people having the ability to buy, stake, and farm our tokens on the 29th of this month. We have Panda Academy, the crypto education component, the 20 modules, that'll be rolling out in the next 1 to 2 months. Panda merchandise, we have 6,000 teddy bears we've already manufactured with our first 2 products. So we've got teddy bears literally 1 foot tall with Panda app and Panda 11. People will be able to buy those and eventually collect the whole collection. And we've also got these t-shirts and coffee mugs. So they'll be available to purchase in the coming weeks as well. Now, as far as Panda Play is concerned, we already have the first product in the market. And the reason I talk about this being in the market is because most people who are looking at crypto tokens or coins to buy, they're literally looking at a company who has nothing other than maybe a website and a white paper, and they're talking about what they're going to do. And they want you to invest your money to buy their tokens so they can take that money and hopefully go and produce some of the products on their roadmap. We already have tested our beta app in the market and have over 550,000 people who have downloaded and using that app. And the next version is hitting the market in the coming days. There's some unique features of our next version that I cannot wait to tell you about that you won't see with any other messaging app. We already have Panda 11, the world's first crypto sports fantasy app, in the market. Panda Legends, as you just heard with Russ, the NFT game is already being developed, and we'll do our first NFT drop with the OG collection, the first 1,864 pandas that you'll get access to in the next coming months as well. So ultimately, we've got a whole ecosystem of not only a way to grow the community, a way to reward the community, help us to grow, and then products and services that we believe people will use and spend money on to support the token value and increase the token value as the whole valuation of our company grows. So to round out on that note, I'm going to hand over to Albert to close it out, because again, before we even started this project, we thought, you know, based on all of the things we've looked at and been involved in the past, the way we've seen people get hurt with the token getting launched and then just people dumping and the price going through the floor, what can we do to help protect not only holding the token price once we list, but to make sure the token value continues to go up as our project expands? So Albert, I'll hand over to you to cover these 6 different ways and things we put in place to protect that from happening.
Yes, once again, exactly 1 year ago, we put all these in place because it's very important to be able to answer this one question. You know, how will the token hold or increase its value? When you look at 25 other crypto projects out there that use word of mouth to spread their project, they're all going to be the same. You're going to ask them, what are you going to do to increase the value? Well, they're all going to tell you, we're going to teach our people how to do trading. And the only thing that's going to happen, and we've seen so many projects do this, on the scheduled date of the listing, everybody goes over, everybody sells, and the price plummets. It's not the way to do it. So the 6 strategies that we put in place over 1 year ago when we first started this was, 1 is to do minting and half-lives, basically to mimic Bitcoin. Bitcoin's 21 million, ours is 210 million, and we're doing the 210 million over a 15-year period. Our very first half-life will be in November. We also implemented a 48-hour rule. This was a way of implementing to highly incentivize and reward members for holding the tokens instead of withdrawing. If you need $300, we wanted to incentivize you, maybe cash out your Ethereum, maybe cash out your Tron, versus doing the cashing out your PPM. Because what will happen is you're going to hit withdraw, 48 hours will go by, then you'll be able to withdraw, and then you can restake. But during those 48 hours, which is going to be 96 cycles, you will not receive any rewards for 96 cycles. It's definitely a deterrent, and it's also definitely a reward mechanism to keep people staking and for them to earn higher rewards. DeFi and staking, we've talked about the Punk Panda farm, the website setup. Everybody's going to be able to do everything directly on the Web3 page. And we have many programs that are set up. For instance, the country of India, they love to stake for more than 2 years to receive higher percentages. Ladies and gentlemen, every time somebody stakes, whether it's for 3 months or for 2 years or for 3 years, those are tokens that are taken out of circulation, lower the supply, increase the demand. We could go to the next slide, Marcus. We also have the company buyback. Every utility that we have that creates revenue, and that's one of the great things about this, is if you stand back and you said, you know what if we weren't a crypto program? What if we were based on fiat? What would we look like? We'd be a highly successful company because Zoom is on fiat. Many companies, Dream 11, the crypto, the sports fantasy app, it's based on fiat. So we would be very successful if we were just fiat. So these things that generate real revenue in the future, we're going to be taking 3% of those and putting them into a buyback wallet, further reducing the supply that's in circulation. And then we have the token lock and the withdrawal limits. We did not build this program for somebody to jump in, on month 1, buying at 10 cents, and then on month 2, they're selling at $1 and everybody else is losing their money. All the founders, the ambassador founders, contributors, anybody that bought during the pre-sale, They have their tokens locked for a period of time. And we have a withdrawal schedule that cannot be more than 1% 30 days after the listing. And when people see that, they say, oh my goodness, this is going to work. This is going to be one of those programs that's going to survive the listing and just keep getting increasingly stronger each and every passing month. And then finally, we have so many case utilities, as Craig talked about and as Marcus has talked about. We have so many different case utilities where it's not necessary just to take the token and run over and sell it. There's many places where you'll be able to use it for things that you're going to do anyway. And I think with that, what I'm going to do now is I hope you understand all 6 of these reasons that we can hold and increase the value. I'm going to turn it back to our CEO, T.W. Dawson, so you can go ahead and give us any closing thoughts that you might have. Thank you. Everybody have a wonderful day, wonderful night.
Actually, just before TW wrap up, I just want to put a big shout out to our CTO, Azim Khan. He's running a team of over a dozen different tech and developers, which go from our Panda app right over to our Panda 11 sports fantasy app. Those guys are working around the clock and they're delivering these incredible products and services that we all get to benefit from, just not just now, but also in the future. On top of that, we have Telegram moderators that monitor our Telegram and our Discord 24 hours a day. Doesn't matter where you are around the world. If you jump into our Telegram group, you're going to get a response because we have people monitoring that Telegram group 24 hours a day. And, you know, I just want to reiterate one last thing that Albert touched on, and that is our token lock. You know, so many great projects, they list their token and the token price goes mad and then it pumps through the floor. And one of the big reasons this happens is because people who bought cheap tokens during the pre-sale before it ever hit the market, or people who actually are the company owners, founders, and corporate people, they've got a whole stack of tokens that they were given. And when they see the token price going really well, they just go and dump a whole bunch of their tokens and they kill the project. Anybody that's bought tokens during our pre-sale, even if they wanted to sell every single token, every time it was available, it would take them 17 months to be able to sell tokens they purchased in the pre-sale, starting out with 1% in month 2, 2%, 3%, and so on. From our side, the corporate founders, the corporate staff, the advisors, our tokens are locked for 2.5 years, right? So people looking at this project don't have to be fearful that big token holders are just going to dump tokens, because it literally is impossible. It cannot happen. So with that, thanks to all our speakers tonight. TW, we'll throw over to you to close out the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. This has been one of the best showcases I've ever been a part of. I am so excited. And I just want to just give you one thing to think about. This is a long-term project. Anybody who's looking at this project for the first time, who see this video right before the listing and want to know whether you should invest at this time with the market the way it is, what makes a company survive the market is the usage, the ability to provide value to the market and to the members. That's what we have. There's so many people that are discouraged in this market right now, that have stuck their head in the sand and they're running for the hills, waiting for the bull market to start up again. But not us. What we're doing is we're taking advantage of this time, like Mike said, and educating ourselves, building our networks, building our experiences, getting our skills up, and building our Punk Panda businesses. What we want our company to allow people to embrace the new way to do crypto with the use it, share it, and own it model. Not just the community, not just pandas, not just the token, but a risk-free opportunity that would allow us to benefit from this big change, from this big transfer of wealth, bigger than that .com era, I believe. So listen, if you haven't done it already, go to the App Store, download the app, use it, start sharing it, start accumulating assets right away. If you haven't done it already, go to the iOS App Store, download Panda 11. Or if you're on Android, go to panda11.io and get the app from there. Start using the games. Start earning crypto from there. And then guess what? In about 48 hours from now, you will be, and everybody else will be able to go to PancakeSwap and purchase Punk Panda tokens, PPM, for the first time. Listen, if you've ever had a dream of changing your financial future, if you've ever had any ambition in life, What you know is that you need to know this. People make money in a bull market, but millionaires are created in the bear market. I believe that if you get these tokens, get them, hold them, stake them, and guess what? The next bull run, I promise you, there will be millionaires that are being made from projects like this, including Punk Panda. Thank you, everybody. We love you guys. We're signing off. Have a good evening. Have a good day. Have a good afternoon. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Yippee!